Hey guys, welcome back. I am Jason Salyer, and today we're doing some homeschooling with my boy Eli over there. We've got his kit geared back up, kind of went through some things and organized it, and we're going to be doing some life lessons. That's a cute bunny. So Elijah has abused his knives. You're just trying to find the right angle. You don't want to go too steep with it like that because that'll make it dull. And you don't want to go too shallow with it because then you won't really be sharpening it. You want to find the right angle. You want to match the grind of the blade already. You don't want to change it. All right, where does your knife go when we're not using it?
In the sheath.
Do you walk around with it open out of the sheath?
No.
No. All right, so this is Elijah's pack here. It's just a sling pack by Roaring Fire Gear. It's not very expensive, but it seems to fit the bill. It holds all the things that he needs to spend a couple nights out in the woods, and whenever we go on our adventures, this is what he brings along with him. What's in there? So in that front pouch there, there's snacks, basically. He's got some Cliff Bars, some little candies and things like that. It's just some ready-to-go food stuffs that don't require some mixed nuts, doesn't require any cooking, and he can just dig in there and grab it when he needs it, whether it's an emergency or not.
A flashlight.
Yep, you've got a small flashlight that's got a lanyard on it. You can put it around your neck, and then you can, it's got just a regular flashlight on it. It also has a strobe feature to help signal for help if you need it. And then it's also just basically kind of a glowing lantern. If you wear this around your neck, it'll give you some red light.
A multi-tool.
Yeah, you've got a multi-tool, right? So we've got a pair of pliers, an extra knife, and just the basics, right? So you've got the things that you might need, some tools on there you might need.
That is rope.
Yeah, it's rope, paracord, right? It's really, really strong rope. And there's some more in your pack too. I think there's some in this pouch.
Yeah, there's
there's some more rope in here. Some more paracord, some bank line, and things if you should need string to make yourself a shelter. So on the side of his pack, he's got a blaze orange vest that he could put on and make himself much, much easier to find if that was the situation. You ever get lost, something happens to me, you get separated from me, you put that vest on. Do you understand?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So little Eli is in the woods right there. He's standing in the woods and you cannot see him at all. It's not like he's wearing camouflage. He's wearing a blue shirt and with a Superman logo on the front, but you still really can't see him unless he starts moving around. But put that vest on, big guy. Boom. That could be all the difference between someone finding him and not finding him. Go. Now what do we have in there, big guy? Just your canteen and your canteen cup, right? And remember, what can we do if you were to get water out of this creek behind us? What would you need to do to the water to make it clean to drink?
I need to make a fire and boil the water.
Boil the water, that's right. And once the water cools down, it'd be safe to drink, right? Mm-hmm. All right, so he knows how to boil water in his canteen cup to make it safe to drink. But he may be tired, he may be injured himself, who knows? And having water purification tablets like this one, this is just a single one. I've got to resupply this kit. But having water purification tablets like this could make the difference. And Eli, this is one tablet. You would tear this open with your teeth if you had to, but you'd use your knife to cut it open, and then it would clean 1 quart. This is 1 quart. So you'd fill this up with water out of the creek, and you'd drop this in there. It tastes like a swimming pool. Mmm, delicious. You've drank your fair share of swimming pool water, haven't you?
Sometimes.
Sometimes.
Sometimes I don't mean to. I don't mean to do it. Hammock.
Your hammock, that's right. And you know how to string your hammock up, correct?
Mm-hmm.
So there's a 42-gallon trash bag that's going to keep all of his stuff that needs to stay dry. A very inexpensive dry bag. There you go. All right, open it up and let's see what you have in there. Yep, he's got a small fleece blanket because it's summertime. It's not going to get that cold. And he's got a wool cap that he can put on top of his head to keep himself warm and dry when he's trying to get some rest. What else is in there, buddy? All right, he's got a spare change of wool socks. He's got some wool socks to swap it out. He's got some underwear. He's got a long sleeve shirt and a long sleeve, lightweight, fast drying kind of shirt. And then what else do you have, buddy? And some lightweight, fast drying pants. So if his clothes were to get completely soaked, he would have a complete head to toe layer of dry clothes to be able to put on, and he could get inside of his hammock that he sets up and be warm and dry. Yep, so you could wrap up in your blanket, in your fleece blanket, and you could crawl inside that trash bag, pull it up around your shoulders.
This is a small trash bag.
Yeah, it's small, but it'll work. Pull it up around your shoulders. You're small. There you go, and lay down. And now he's completely protected from rain. And if he's wrapped up in his little fleece blanket, he's got his dry clothes on. Yeah, I know it won't breathe because it's a trash bag. He'll have some condensation issues in there, but it's a whole lot better than getting freezing cold rain on you in the middle of the night. So, and you won't cover your head up like that because you'll suffocate, doofus. Get your head out of there. There you go. And every now and then you might want to open it up and get some air in there so it doesn't get too stuffy. Okay?
Okay.
Oh, what else do we have in there? The most important thing. One of the most important things. Your poncho, right? So a poncho is a really good shelter too.
The ponch and the
Yep. You know how to set it up on the ground, right? Remember how to set it up on the ground? And you know how to set it up over top of your hammock, right? Mm-hmm. Yep. And then you could just wear it. You could get in it, sit in next to a tree, and just huddle and stay dry away from the rain,
or
right?
you can wear it in your hammock.
You could wear it inside of your hammock. That's exactly right, buddy. So this is a hammock, really simple, lightweight hammock from Grand Trunk. I like this hammock because setting it up is no problem at all. You just wrap this cordage around the tree, run it through itself. Yep. And pull. You're gonna wanna probably have that thing about nose high, okay? There you go. Good. Good. He's measuring it with his nose. Good. And we're just practicing this stuff at home. We're at the On3 habitat here. We're not in the middle of nowhere, in the wilderness, just getting this kid out, making sure he knows how to use everything. Now that's a bit tight, isn't it, buddy? Remember, we want some swag to it. We want some curve to it, so you need to loosen that one side up. I have just kind of graduated knots at intervals here so he can adjust the height of his hammock and the swag of it. And there you go. You got your hammock set up, and if the ground was wet, ground was cold, you don't want to be laying on it, you could just string your hammock up. Right, big guy? Yep. Now, show me how you set up your tarp. So we've got a length of cordage tied to every corner of the poncho. He's going to stick the cordage through the line that's holding up his hammock, and then he's going to take any stick, basically, that's on the ground, stick it through there like a toggle. And when you pull on it, that holds it still, and it's not going to come loose. And you've already tied off the hood. This was already like this in your pack. So it's already tied off. It's not going to leak there. Get it?
Yes.
Okay.
A tarp.
There you go. So now you've got two ends secured on your poncho. And now you're just going to stake out the corners. You need to find 2 stakes. And once you get it sharp, put your knife back in the sheath. There you go. And there we go. He's got his shelter all rigged up. We've tried this method before, and it works pretty good. At first I thought maybe this kind of downward slope of the poncho was going to collect some water here and end up dripping, but it never did. We've slept out in some pouring rain with this setup, and he's been able to stay really, really dry with that. And it's super simple to set up. He can do it himself. Even my 7-year-old daughter can set this up by herself, and it's no problem. And this, you don't have to spend a fortune on kits for your kids. That pack wasn't very expensive. I think it was maybe 30 to 40 bucks, something like that. This poncho is a pretty decent one from 5-Star Gear, which is, again, around 30, 40 bucks. Same thing, 30, 40 bucks for this hammock from Grand Trunk. All quality pieces of kit, and they're not gonna break the bank. You take a nap? So also in his pack, we've included a small first aid kit that I was reminded of when he was using his giant Glock field knife from Mr. Allen. We've got just some bandages, some gauze, that kind of stuff, and then he could use the duct tape to wrap himself up, patch himself up if he was to get some cuts. Where do we gather our kindling from?
The trees.
Well, obviously trees, but what kind of trees?
Pine.
Yeah, preferably pine trees, right? So Eli's lighter that he's got on a lanyard here of paracord is just electrical taped to the really bright colored lighter. I have removed the child safety deal that goes on top so he can easily light it up. Light it up for me, bud. There you go, fire. And there's no need to mess around with ferro rods. We've got a ferro rod in there for him, but it's a backup. The lighter is by far the easiest way to get a fire going. If he lights up one of those tinder tabs, he's going to be able to get a fire going, no problem. We have been out in the wintertime when his hands have been really cold, and I've tried to test him a little bit there. And that does make it pretty challenging to light a lighter, but it can still be done. And that might be a situation where that ferro rod, that big, bulky, giant ferro rod that's easy to hold on to, might be an advantage when the dexterity becomes a problem.
We're bringing a twig. Oh, okay. I think I have enough twigs for our tiny fire.
Do you want to start the fire with the ferro rod, or do you want to use your lighter?
I want to use the lighter.
Okay. And it'll get fuzzy.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. And then you just light it with your lighter. Okay.
Okay.
Got it. That's it. You got it.
I did?
Yeah.
No.
It's going.
It is?
Yeah, it's burning.
Okay.
It's going to burn for a long time. You just got to be gentle with the fire in the beginning so it doesn't go out, right? Pull that other piece out of there because you don't need the whole thing.
Okay.
Just put that on top of your pack and you can put it away in a second. There you go. Now, take all the small twigs, your small kindling, and put it on top of that.
Ow!
Yeah, it's fire, buddy. It's hot. There you go. And then just let that work. That little tinder tab's going to burn for a long time. What about if this was for real and it was cold outside?
Well, then you would get
How much wood would you need to collect?
like 10 big handfuls of tiny twigs and then tons of big twigs.
Tons of big twigs. What you'd want is a pile of firewood no smaller than you. So if you lay down next to your firewood, it needs to be the same size or bigger than you. Okay?
Okay.
You understand?
Yes, sir.
So after you've collected all this kindling stuff, you need to collect some big firewood, some big arm size stuff, right?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
North, east, west, and south.
That's right. That's right. Which way is north?
North.
That direction, all right? I want you to walk 100 steps to the east. Can you do that for me?
But I'll run into the water.
What are you going to do? If you got to keep heading east and you run into a pond or something like that, what are you going to do?
I'm going to go around it.
Yep. You're going to look on the other side of the obstacle, like the pond. You're going to look on the other side of the obstacle and see something that's in that westerly direction or easterly direction. And then you're going to walk around the pond until you get to that tree or whatever it is, big rock, okay? And then when you get to that, you're going to carry on going in the direction you want. So I've instructed Elijah, if something was to happen to me, if he was lost in the woods, we were separated, whatever it may be, I've instructed him to stay put, stay exactly where he is and do not move. Take care of the basic needs like shelter and fire and water and all of those things in his immediate location, or as close to it as possible, obviously. And then toot on that whistle every 10 minutes. You give 3 really big loud blasts every 5-10 minutes and just really let that thing rip. Now let's say, well, chances are someone's going to come looking for him because we've told somebody where we are. And if we don't show up at our destination on time, people are going to worry about us and they're going to come looking. But let's say, worst case scenario, nobody's coming to look. It's been a few days and no one has come looking for him. What's he supposed to do? He's got a small compass and he can read the compass and follow a basic direction. And around here, it really doesn't matter. You pick any direction, north, south, east, west, or anything in between, and you follow it in a straight line. Sooner or later, you're gonna run into a creek, you're gonna run into a road, you're gonna run into a house, something. You gotta hold it up here in front of you, away from anything that might be metal, like your belt buckle. If it's near your belt buckle, it's gonna throw it off, because a compass works on a magnet, right? And if it's metal, it's gonna tell you a lie. We don't want that. So hold it up in front of you, away from anything metal. All right, 100 steps east. Okay, so you've walked 100 steps east, correct? Now, here's the test. What is the opposite of east? If you were gonna go back the way you came, which direction would you walk?
West.
West. I want you to go 100 steps west. And now, if you did it right, you will end up exactly where you started from. All right, guys, thanks so much for watching. Make sure you hit that thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't done so already, and make sure you leave us a comment. Today's comment is...
What is your favorite food?
What is your favorite food? That's a perfect comment. Get your kit loaded up for your kids. Get their bug out bags, adventure kits, whatever you want to call it, doesn't matter. Get them loaded up and make sure you spend some time with them outside, setting up their shelter, starting the fires, knowing how to use all of those things, because there may come a time when they can't rely upon you to do it for them. So thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.